All right. Hello, everyone. I also really resonated with the prompt in a special way. I think that for much of my life, I thought of home as people. I thought of home as my family, as this feeling of being held by the space and the people around you. And it wasn't until I was 18 and my father went through a series of life-threatening conditions, and I realized people, like everything else in the world, are transient. Our bodies, the suits that we wear, that we're given, are transient. And so what's beyond a body? What's beyond that relationship that I have with my dad and his curly hair and his sweet smell? What do I have beyond that? And when I turned 18, I began studying neuroscience, and I just happened to fall also into yoga and Eastern science. And Thich Nhat Hanh actually was one of my first mentors and first voices that I heard in this journey. And Thich Nhat Hanh is somebody that went through a lot of suffering in Vietnam. He lost a lot of family members. There was a lot of suffering all around him. And every time you look at him in his interviews or in his meditations, he has this contagious joy, this contagious compassion. And I feel as though he could look at anybody and the love in his eyes wouldn't dim, no matter who he's looking at or what they had done or where they were at as a person. And I find that he and other philosophers have found what home truly means. And I think that is beyond this physical plane. So about 2 years ago, with the help of some Buddhist teachers and some other Eastern teachers, I kind of accidentally dove face first into shamanism. I was introduced to a teacher through my work in hospice. And the first time she started playing these drums for me, I was transported to a whole different world. And what I came to find out was that world is actually within my heart. It's a world within. So I started a business last year to honor that world within. It's called The Skies Within. And the idea is that we have these endless blue skies within our soul and within our body, and we can access them the minute we turn our eyes and our heart inward. And that's something that's so powerful to me. We often think we need people, and we're terrified of losing people, or we need stability, we need a home. We have these basic needs in this physical plane, but beyond the physical plane, we have family all around us. We have ancestors and guides, and I'm sure my dad one day will reside there as well. And now that I feel like I have opened the door of true home, I'm not so scared anymore about losing anybody or anything in this plane, because I know home goes deeper than that. Home is within, and within is everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Feedback.
Yes.
You have a very soothing demeanor. Like
Thank you.
even as you've gone through all of the emotions in the story, like you feel like your presence is just calming.
Thank you for saying that.
I struggled a little with the through line of the relationship to your dad, then into, I think it was because of the health issues, then into like the importance of then why you were drawn to that work and like your inner world being home.
Yeah.
So like I think it almost like set the stage like you were sharing with like your relationship with your dad like made you feel like at home, but in the end it was like your home is when you're inward and like with yourself. And so I just struggled a little bit with making that connection at that point.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I'm somebody who loves to bring something full circle, and I didn't have anything prepared today.
Right.
So I just kind of like dove inward, but you guys don't know like the path that I've walked, or like the fact that me and my dad will do spiritual practices together.
Right.
Really, the idea is that, even after he passes, after anybody in my life, after I pass, there's a endless blue sky that's beyond, in which you can connect with people that you've lost, or guides on the other side that you never knew were there.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry to take you on a journey there, but
You did bring it like on home. In the end, it was like that first initial like
Pop from
Yeah.
Pop from the dad.
Gotcha.
But you did a really good job with the description of your dad and like of your relationship and like painting that picture. And I think like if you were going to talk about this a little more, like I think talking about like the hospice for like a beat or two longer, like your work in hospice, as you're like tying it back into ancestry,
yeah,
things like that.
I love that.
And you're really like kind of talking about our death and how we process and stay connected to it in life.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth exploring more. Like I would encourage you to write that out and then see what points, how everything connects in like the constellation that is your work, because you don't just do one thing.
Yeah.
And that is like, human beings and when it comes to energy work, there's so many different angles. But I think you touch a lot of them, including like the neuroscience. So maybe even tying that too.
Yeah.
Would be interesting.
I would love that. Yeah, thank you for the ideas.
Can I share something? I think you have really good energy, and I agree with Haley. You got like a nice soothing tone. And I think a lot of times you think of public speakers and they're loud and they're big and they're animated, and that's not necessarily true. There's different ways of influencing, impacting people, and you have a very specific way that I like. A couple of things for feedback. You have very pretty eyes, and I like when you look at me. Every time you look at me, I feel it a little bit more. And the other feedback, which is really interesting, this is recorded, right? She can watch this later. Here's what's interesting. You speaking to us, and then you speaking to her were different. Did anyone else catch that?
In what way?
If you're thinking about, so it's not about being louder, more animated, more dynamic, it's am I using the full extent of my sternum or my chest? And when you're speaking to her, you were talking at her, and like there was a little bit more engagement. Your voice was a little bit, ever so slightly deeper.
Yeah.
And it was more of like a conversation. And I think that what you presented to us is good. And you could go somewhere and say, this is the story of what I do, and people would be moved, and they would probably support your business because it's a beautiful why to what you do. Good to great. And I've seen this before. There's people who talk to people. There's people who talk or to versus at people. When she made feedback and you responded, you were talking to her as opposed to at her. And it sounds different, and even your eye contact was direct. So pretend like you're always talking to us. And
I
even
love
if
that.
we're all just freaking strangers, pick one person you want to talk to and pretend like you're
Yeah.
I feel like that's really like valid feedback, and I also understand, like I'm sure you do when you're improvising, because your brain is going a million miles a minute.
Yeah.
So you're like trying to steer where you're going. So I think that creates like almost a layer of separation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you don't have that practice, like okay, these are the 3 points I'm covering. I'm good. I'll just go. So. It
That's so true.
adds-
You're more in here.
A
You're
little
less
bit.
in here.
A little bit, yeah.
I noticed that. Yeah, I noticed
good.
that too. Like
Yeah.
where you speak from in your body matters. And becoming a yoga instructor and teaching the elderly and people in hospice yoga that have, at times hearing issues, it's helped me to project my voice a lot more. I was always told that I was too quiet. And people that are hard of hearing are a great skill builder for that. So I really love the idea of like sinking into my diaphragm and being able to talk from an embodied place,
And even you talking to us right now feels more powerful and it's not, and I think that's probably the difference is maybe we're up here and now you're telling us you're talking from your diaphragm.
Yeah.
It feels different. I
Yeah.
feel you more.
It feels different to me too. Yeah, absolutely.
And you got a great energy, so like I want to feel more.
Thank you.
That's like embodying the energy of what you want to present. So maybe practicing when you get up there, taking a breath and moving it down to
I love
your
that.
diaphragm.
Yeah.
And I feel like that also connects with your heart a little bit more.
Yeah. That
can
connects
help
with.
you, like, connect with people a little bit, even if you don't get the eye contact and all that. It's still coming more from here.
That's
versus
beautiful.
Here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's all good. All very good. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just want to say, like, I relate and connect very deeply with your work and with the depth of just of what you touched on, and it is really beautiful to meet you and to be inspired by you, and then I would love to hear more about your company, and I know that
I've
you've
been
done
trying
some
to
beautiful.
introduce you.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels like it's beautiful to, and I agree with everyone's feedback, and I'm also very green at the whole public speaking thing. So this is a beautiful learning.
Can't wait for you to record your meditation so I can listen to it.
That's coming next for sure. But I'm so excited to connect with you and so honored to feel seen. So thank you. Thank you all.
Good job.